the flag, United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
justice for all.
Apparently somehow we picked the same one, huh?
We did?
Oh, two of them? Oh, wow, really? Hawkinson, Anderson, and League of Minnesota Cities. That's all right.
What the heck, the odds of that? Oh, he has them? Oh, these are.
Just the two that we have, right?
Okay.
Well, all of my five, but the two that we had together, correct?
Well, I think what we do here is you just, are these all, you make copies of all of them? Or do we pass them around?
Them are just yours.
No, I just check yours out, and if
Okay.
they're good to go, we'll go. Where do I have the, Clayton?
He has them. Do you have 5?
I have like 7.
I'm at receipts on the back. He's got them then.
Oh, okay. What?
Yep. He's got 2 of them.
Which one are you looking for?
The 2 that are marked on there.
The ones that we got, the
Jay, when
LMC
you're
and
done with them.
Hawkinson, Anderson. Whenever you get done looking at them.
These ones, yeah.
Oh,
take a
sorry,
look.
everyone. I didn't mean to do that.
Do you want these back then? Obviously, right? Okay, here's my pile and what,
Okay.
I'm good with mine.
I just put them aside.
Okay.
So he brought them signs back. He had a meeting here at 1.
We have to sign these in, or?
Nope. No.
Like what you have?
Yeah, I think, yep, everything looks good.
Then I'd entertain a motion to approve, because we all agree at this point in time.
I'll make the motion.
Motion to approve all of at least our 3 audit, or the 3 of us are audited numbers, whatever, checks, whatever, and
I'll second it.
agree that they all checked out with no alterations and really no questions.
Everything good.
Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carried. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded.
Second it.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. We are adjourned at 6:05. Sweet. All right, gentlemen. We're going. Please stand and give the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you would, Elmas is asked to lead us in prayer. Whatever makes you feel most comfortable.
Bless the Lord, O my soul. O Lord my God, you are very great. You are clothed with honor and majesty. Lord, we are thankful to be here tonight. Be near us, guide us, and direct us. Let your peace reside here in our city and in this meeting. We ask you for wisdom, understanding, and perseverance. Lord, we thank you for those that serve our city. We ask a blessing on those servants. We ask for your protection on our city and the ones who work for us, our fire department, Sherburne Sheriff's Department, the city council, those at City Hall, our public works, and contractors. I ask in Jesus' name. Now the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive them that trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
All right, are there any additions or alterations to the agenda? I have a couple. I want to go first so then I can add you to what I already have. First, the letter A and B in tabled items and the letter B of new business, I would like to combine all of them. All of that will come up as one part of the discussion at this point in time. Mr. Rush had asked for letter A of the Park Committee report to be tabled to the March meeting, so we can do that when that comes. I have added letter F, which is Chris Engineering. It's a quote for cutting edges and stuff for the blades, whatever. So letter F is discuss, approve, disapprove, quote $4,141.24. Is there anything else? Mr. Walker, do you have anything? Mr. Rush?
Oh,
Mr. Case?
I would, under the fire department.
Okay, you want to scratch that? Okay. And Mr. Lick, do you have anything you want to add to? Well, first of all, welcome to our group.
Well, this is a regular meeting
This is a regular
that
meeting.
I would have been at, not the
Yeah.
second one. So
Oh, that's true.
yeah.
I would have been here anyway.
Well, that's what I mean. So
Good
welcome,
to have you, Cool Hand
welcome,
Lick.
welcome as part of, yeah, according to Mr. Rush. Cool hand licked.
No.
All righty. All righty. Any other additions, any further discussions? If not, then I'll take a motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
So move.
For a second.
I'll second it.
Moved and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, treasurer's report.
For the month of February 2026, we have a beginning balance of $1,384,667.64. Disbursements of $73,855.39. We did not have any receipts yet for the month of February, leaving an ending unaudited ending balance of $1,310,812.25.
Questions for the treasurer? Move on. Sheriff's report. Commander Ben Zawacki, thank you for showing up. Welcome. And floor.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you guys having me. Before we start on the annual report, I'll just talk a little bit about the month of January. In a very cold January month, it looked like a less amount of crime, which we like to see. Just briefly went through 25. We had 210 calls for service, so we just went up to 215 last month. And to be honest with you, looked like a couple injury accidents, 16 medicals, 4 domestics, 54 traffic stops, 3 snowmobile complaints, which are pretty common. But looking through all of the different calls for service, I don't see any thefts, burglaries, anything like that. That's what I like to see. I always give the Palmer Township, every time I don't see a criminal line in the calls for service, I'm happy. So for the most part, a very quiet, normal January in '26. So if you have any questions about that, you can ask, or any other concerns about anything in that regard. Okay, so the annual report. Move that slide, or do I got a clicker, or? You got it, okay, you can slide down to the first slide. All right, so this is the total calls for service from '23 to '25. Looks to be kind of standard across the board, 2,300 in '23, up more in '24, 2,861, and 2,672 for '25 total calls for service. And when I'm talking about serious criminal activity, this is kind of the things that I'm talking about. Now you'll see where it says assault, 35, and that's probably kind of a shocking number, but not all of these involved assaults. That has to do with our recording a domestic call, so just an argument at a house that, you know, there's no arrest, anything like that, will be coded in that assault column. So not all of those were actual physical assaults. In fact, kind of across the board in all of these township meetings I'm doing, it's very low in amount of arrests and actual assaults. So I didn't get a chance to go through the full 35, but that's pretty standard for every township I've been to. 3 burglaries, I think that's a good number. 6 narcotics cases were opened in the city. 6 DUIs. There were 5 CSCs, that's criminal sexual conduct crimes, 23 thefts, and 26 criminal damage to property. If you go to the next slide, it'll show you a breakdown from the years prior. So looks like an increase in assaults, decrease in burglaries, and thefts, and CDPs are all kind of around the same. So it just kind of shows you a little bit of a breakdown from year to year in those categories. If you guys have any questions or anything, just shoot them to me and we'll talk about it. Every year I like to talk about the retirements. We don't like to lose people, especially with the amount of experience. If you look up here, we have several people with well over 20 years of experience in pretty significant areas. Investigative Captain Ken Hansen, 28 years with our department running our investigative unit. Near to all of us, Deputy Roxanne Schrader. This was a big loss for our department. She did the work of about 6 people, which we found out because we had to delegate all of her responsibilities and we couldn't give it to just one person. We had to share it around the department. So we've talked a little bit about what that position will look like in the future here, because it's something that we don't want to lose, the community engagement piece, and having somebody that's a point of contact for some of these things that aren't criminal related, and all of the different things that we do throughout the year. So that's being explored, but that was a big loss for our department, obviously.
Baldwin resident.
Yes. Okay, if you scroll to the next. All right, so I always like to do a canine update. We've had a rough year for canines. Deputy Bronco had intestinal flip back in December. He was not able to be saved. We ended up having to put him down. He was about almost 5 years old. So that was a bad deal for us. We currently only have the one dog on patrol. That's Deputy Bain, being handled by Deputy Nick Carlson. So we will look to replace that dog so we can get back up to 2 canines on the street. We look to probably do that in sometime probably around August or September. And then we have a canine in our jail, a narcotics dog, that is coming to the end of his career as well. He's almost 9 years old, I believe. We are currently looking to replace him with a new handler as well, so we can continue to have a narcotics dog in our jail. This is Deputy Mitchell Reesner. He was awarded top DWI stops and traffic enforcer award for the office this year. Young deputy, very aggressive out on the street, makes a lot of traffic stops. And then these are just, you can kind of slowly scroll through these. These are some of the things that we do every year. Special Olympics torch run. We did, here's one of the issues I was telling you about with Deputy Schrader being gone. She handled our seniors and law enforcement together. That was something that I took on with the help of Elk River Police Department. We were able to host a SALT event at the Elk River Community Center. We had probably about 75 to 80 people in attendance. We had canine demos, drone demos. It was a really good event. We're going to hopefully get even more people this coming year. So it was something that I got involved in. It was a lot of fun, a lot of work. So one of those things I was telling you about, not having rocks around it, it created a lot of extra work for a lot of people, but it turned out to be a very nice event. So. And then, of course, we do our Night to Unite. We had a down year this year. I think about 4 or 5 neighborhoods less than the year before. Right around 18, I think, is what the total number was across the county. We've talked a bit about this. We hope to kind of maybe do a little better messaging and hopefully get a few more of the neighborhoods together. It's always a good time to get together with neighbors and our reserves and fire, and I mean everyone comes out. It's a really good event. So hopefully we can kind of turn that around and get a few more people involved on that. And then we do Shop with the Cop every year at the Walmarts of Princeton and Elk River. So we did that again this year. So I just had a few cases of interest and then just a few department updates. I went back throughout the year and looked at some of the serious things that went on. We've had an interesting year, to say the least. We had an individual, if you didn't know, decided to show up at our government center, shoot through our windows and doors and made entry into our building. We had jail staff that were in the hallways at the time this took place. It was really, truly probably a miracle that nobody was actually hurt. He walked through our government center. He tried to attack an individual sitting in a car. So that will lead me to a project that we're working on down the road, but that was the day of the Elk River Parade. I just happened to be there that day, and I and the captain of patrol were able to take him down without having to use serious force. So we were very lucky that day. Recently in the jail, you probably heard there was just recently a jail assault. 5 of our correctional officers were assaulted after a large-scale fight in one of our units. Luckily, all of them had minor injuries. Some of them went to get checked out, but we're back very quickly. It was 2 rival groups that got into a big melee, and they were trying to break it up and ended up receiving kind of some small injuries. But obviously, a very dangerous job that they take on every day in our facility. And then recently, the kidnapping that occurred in Zimmerman. Pretty sure I think Baldwin Fire was involved. Many people were involved from all over the county. It was really amazing to see. It was an ending that I didn't think that we were going to get that day. So it really worked out well. We learned some things from it, things that we're going to try to better in these large scale situations. When you have 1,000 people showing up at a scene, it's quite chaotic. And so we've got some things that we're going to put in place, and hopefully we never deal with this again. But odds are, a missing kid, people come out to help, and I'm glad they do. We just have to be able to control it a little better. So we always appreciate the help that came out. This was an interesting case. Oh, scroll back up, sorry. We had 4 individuals earlier in the year. It was a burglary at a residence. They were armed. They stole a safe containing $100,000 cash. It was a very interesting case that required a lot of work from our investigative division, working with the Anoka Hennepin Task Force and BCA. They were able to arrest 3 of the individuals. I think the 4th one fled to Mexico. I don't believe he's in custody yet. They were able to get about $45,000 of the cash back for the victim. So a very interesting case I found going through them. I do all the hiring for patrol, transport court security, and dispatch. In 2025, I hired 8 brand new patrol deputies and TCS deputies. So that's a lot of hiring throughout the year. We have a bunch of brand new people, green deputies that came right out of school, 21-year-olds, all doing great, passed through our field training. doing excellent work out there. So we do have some youth in this department as well. You need that. And then just two things of note for our intelligence center. We have two criminal analysts that work for our agency. They do what we call workups for not only our agency, but surrounding counties and cities. They have a lot of search tools and different things that they can use to help solve crimes. Many of these agencies will ask for our assistance. They did 784 cases last year alone. And then our Sherburne County Drug Task Force, I always brag about them. It's great to have our own task force that can focus on crimes and drugs in our area. They did almost 100 cases last year, methamphetamine still being the prevalent drug in our community. And then, of course, they make marijuana legal. We're not going to have to deal with it anymore, which is a complete baloney. We ended up seizing 15 pounds of it alone last year, so there's still a black market for marijuana as well. So, just some of the interesting cases that we had throughout the year.
If I could touch on that just a little bit. It's still illegal federally. However, they say they have legalized it in the state. How is Sherburne County handling that? I see you counted 15 pounds. How does that work?
I mean, nothing really changes for us. When they say that they legalize it, they actually created more laws in the legalization because they want to control every aspect of the marijuana and the money. Well, ultimately that creates a bunch of rules and laws that people who sell this illegally are not willing to follow because they're trying to make money off of it themselves. So it doesn't really change for us other than the law changes, and you still can't have pounds of marijuana on you. That's not legal. So we'll continue to address those crimes as we would, even though it's legal. So it's still an issue. So some of the projects we're working on, many of you know, some of you may not. We had a system called Code Red, kind of a notification system that we used internally, and also it would give us the ability to draw, a circumference in a specific area if we were dealing with something and get a push notification out to people on cell phones, whether it be a barricaded person or a missing child or whatever. Code Red went into new ownership. They started to really falter and they weren't supportive of us. We looked into a couple new systems. We ended up landing on what's called HyperReach. So that will replace the notification system, and it's getting very close to being completed. So we'll have internal notification, and we'll be able to notify the public of serious events through this tool. We already have our Code Red contacts that got loaded into the new HyperReach system, so we already have many people's contacts, but there will be some messaging about this so when the community can opt into this so they can be notified on specific events.
Cell phone text messaging.
Correct. Yeah, so that'll be nice for us to have. It's a really good company, and hopefully it corrects the problem. Last year when I was here, we did a secondary dispatch update that is up, live, running, which led into the next phase of let's fix our old dispatch in Elk River, which is 25 years old. We have a lot of revamp to do with that with new equipment. So we will be housed up here in Zimmerman, handling all the calls and everything here. We'll do the dispatch remodel down there, and then hopefully for the rest of my career, we won't touch another piece of equipment in dispatch. So that will be getting underway here shortly, as well as our jail plumbing project, which will start in May. That is a project that the plumbing is failing throughout the government center. There's continuous pinhole leaks all over the facility. It has something to do with the PSI, too much PSI going through a pipe that's too small and the system is failing. So they have to go into each individual unit, knock out the ceiling, replace the piping, fix it, and then go on to the next unit. So we're going to be moving approximately 100 to 120 inmates over to 2 open units in Wright County. We will staff those units over there. So we're opening one, and then we'll just keep going down the line. It'll probably take us about till the end of the year to fully complete this project. So it's pretty extensive, but it's failing all over and it needs to be taken care of. So that's getting underway here shortly. And then in regards to the government center shooting, we got what's called RAVE. It's an application, phone-based application for all of our employees. And you can scroll down so that you can scroll down one more. So essentially what this is it's an extra layer of safety and security for our employees. And it's also an active way that if there was to be, say, an active shooter at the government center, one of our employees hits this app, it's a direct link and notification to dispatch, but it's also a direct link and notification to patrol deputies, transport court security deputies. They can immediately respond to this area. It's GPS tracked within, essentially we can draw a geofence around all of the county-owned buildings. And when they're in the geofence with their app, we'll be able to know where their location's at. So for active shooter, for fire, any of those medical situations, it's an extra way for our employees to let us know and for us to respond quicker to these scenarios. If we were to have an active shooter or a lockdown situation, our dispatch can push out information to all of these phones. They're in all of our safe rooms at the government center. And if somebody was injured in one of the safe rooms, they could push information back to our dispatch and communicate with them directly. So this is a tool that came out of that situation that I think is going to be very beneficial to our agency. Before, if you just want to scroll back up to the tip line, and that's what one more time. There you go, the tip line and volunteer line. Just so you guys know, in the future, if we were to have a situation like that, we would instantly put out the tip line number, because what happened when this all went down is our dispatch center got inundated with calls. People saying, where do I go to help, right? It had nothing to do with the situation. And so they were having to hang up the phone because we were getting other calls coming in. It really created an issue for our dispatch. They need to be focused on the call and not, people just wanting to be helpful or people with no information. So what we'll do in those situations is we'll pump out that tip line number to people, and we'll also have, we'll tell you this is where we want volunteers to go. We'll stage like we did at Westwood Elementary. Go to Westwood. Somebody will be there to help kind of direct you when we need assistance and kind of try to get a little bit of a hold of that chaos. So that'll be coming out and that'll be utilized in large scale incidents. You can scroll all the way down there. I don't know what else is. Okay, that's basically the end. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the projects and some of the serious cases that we've had and we're continuing to get, but we have a lot of good quality people handling this stuff. I mean, we have a lot of changes coming up this year. Obviously, the big one that everyone knows, Joel, our sheriff, who's been doing this for a very long time, is going to finally get to enjoy retirement. So there's going to be some extreme changes in our office, but we're set up to kind of carry that on. So, any questions you guys have at all, just go ahead.
Just thank you for.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
For whatever it's worth, with all the unrest that seems to be.
Well, we got a good community up here, so we're definitely lucky to live where we do. So, all right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Okay,
Stay safe.
fire department report. Start with, first of all, just a call report.
We had a total of 39 calls, 28 for Baldwin, 11 for Blue Hill. As far as Baldwin, we had 3 fires, 17 medicals, 3 PIs, 1 mutual aid, and 4 atmosphere alarm calls. For Blue Hill, we had 9 medicals, 1 PI, and 1 atmosphere alarm call. Total.
Busy month.
Yep.
Almost 40 calls for the month. That's a pace to almost hit 500 for the year.
480. Goes up with that exactly. Well, thank you, and keep up the good work, and thanks to everybody who's willing to get up at 4:00 in the morning and
Some of us are already up at 4, but
deal
that's
with.
The retirement resignations.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, letter A, discuss, approve, disapprove retirement of Cal Watson, again.
This time he actually is. He just had his knee replaced, so he's not. And he's 67, 66, 67, so, yeah.
I will make a motion to approve and
He does not want a letter or any
Doesn't want a
other,
letter.
he doesn't want any, he had it the last time, so he doesn't want us to repeat
Doesn't want
the
it.
deal, so.
okay.
So,
That's his
because we had the
wish.
ceremony and all that, and then he came back, so he doesn't want that, so.
Okay. I'll make a motion. He'll be missed. He was there for what, like 22 years?
Yeah, from the start of the department, he was one of the originals.
Yeah.
Second.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Further discussion? Yes, thank you very much, Cal. Thank you.
Yep.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries. Resignation of firefighter Alexander Shablitsky.
New firefighter decided to join the Marine Corps, so he resigned. Not much more to say in that one.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries. C, approve, disapprove resignation of firefighter Sean.
It's family concerns, I believe is why he resigned, so.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Letter C. Letter D, we had scratched from the agenda as well. Thank you, sir.
all right. Have a good evening.
Thanks, Phil.
Okay, I need a more, Joan, were there any public comment requests? Okay, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Planning items, code enforcements.
Mayor, so on the summary that was provided, there were 4 properties that we identified, inspected today. Need to issue citations to 31611 127th Street, Timothy Olson for junk and debris and boats, 9604 285th and a half Avenue for junk and debris in the rear yard and an inoperable vehicle, and 9746 300th Avenue for occupancy of a semi and RV as living quarters. One other one is issuing an administrative notice for 31220 127th Street, although we did get a call from them just today, actually. So we'll call them back before we send that letter if approved.
So I think we can do that with one motion, or do you want a motion?
One motion is fine.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion
approve,
is second
yeah.
to approve. All right. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. And Dan, you can chime in as well too, but the planning commission, whatever, had a mass exodus, and there is now going to be one more open vacancy at this point in time. And the thought was to run an ad. They had a request to run an ad in the paper for planning commissioners. This also then runs into with yours, park committee member, publishing an ad, and I would think we could do that in the same birds with one stone, if you will.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask, do you guys have any alternates?
No.
At this time? Is a goal like to have like one or two alternates? Because that's what we're doing with the park committee, because, you know, they come, you know, so they know what kind of feel what there is and they can step in. Just a thought.
Mayor, my experience has been having alternates for the planning commission somewhat difficult, just because they need to operate very formally. So if someone's an alternate and not seated, but they're attending, they're kind of left out of the discussion then. So then they kind of get disaffected by participating. So unless there's a problem with attendance where you have a member that's got a health issue that they might miss occasionally or regularly, then you'd have an alternate, but otherwise just go with the 7 as long as we're meeting quorum, so.
But I do agree with you, we can put it in one ad. I'll make a
Question, I was just gonna ask, are we also putting that on the website and the Facebook stuff, that kind of thing?
All of the above.
Yeah,
I
Okay,
think we should also send it out on our text.
text my gov, yes.
So how many people for the park committee?
well, we're losing Zach and Sarah. I have Rosie, Jackie, that will fulfill it. Rob's up, I would probably say 1 or 2, have an alternate, and then we have them come and they step in if we don't have a quorum, or I have them sit up here,
Yeah.
Make them feel,
So at this point, I think the ad would read one for the planning commission, 2 for the park committee.
yeah. And then put one as like a alternate as well.
Or if you advertise the 2 and you appoint the alternate as the regular, you can always appoint a second person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that was a motion to approve. Number 1, combining them. Number 2, to put an ad in the paper. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right,
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Okay, and then I brought up at the last planning commission meeting as well, a desire for a joint meeting with the planning commission. And one of the topics, I think, is going to be, we have this as accessory buildings. But I'm not going to say morphed into accessory buildings, but it is. But the discussion that the council had at one meeting was about the
Containers.
containers. Thank you. Yep, exactly. And so, and then the commission was going to have their second discussions on the containers and then didn't. So this works well if everybody is available or anybody is available on the 11th of February, which is next Wednesday, to join them at their meeting, if you will. And we'll have a joint meeting, so it'll be a council meeting as well. But that way we can all of our thoughts and ideas.
Make the 11th.
All right, so I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve it.
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. All righty, Park Committee, Mr. Rush.
Yeah, I'd like to table this to the second meeting of the March.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Letter B, discuss, approve, disapprove. Publishing ad in the paper. We covered that with the other one.
Yep.
Is there anything else in your Park Committee, sir?
No, we just met and got our goals, planning for that coming up. And then we're going to discuss if we're going to go quarterly instead of monthly.
copy.
That's it.
Cemetery update.
Yeah, there's, I don't know if you guys seen this, there's a memo from Hawkins Anderson. The cemetery map needs to be updated. I spoke with our cemetery, Lester Creasel, and he's in agreement to get this updated. But, remember, we had engineers do this in the past with this. So there's 2 options there, right there. Hawkins and Anderson can update this with the GIS map. The staff just has to send the information over. They'll charge at an hourly rate. Takes about 0.5, half an hour to update. I don't know if that's per Shouldn't be per one, I don't think.
It would, in total, I would think that would.
Yeah,
What are the wishes of the council?
and then there's option two. If you take it in-house, but we would have to purchase the software, GIS, which is Geographic Information Systems. So I don't know the pricing of the software, because Hawkinson didn't say that. So I don't know. I think it, with the staffing here and then not knowing the software costs, I think it would be keep it with the engineer.
I think you'd keep with the engineer, but I'd like to get at least a ballpark figure on what it's gonna cost, just to make sure it isn't 0.5 per lot,
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, the cost to be $1,200.
$1,200.
I think that was that a different? Yeah, that's for the map on the wall to be updated, but I don't know what they're gonna, like Scott said, I don't know if they're gonna charge, half an hour per, that seems kind of high for this for
Yeah,
one.
that's I just wanna clarify it, make sure we're getting what the price out the door, as it were.
Yeah,
That when this is all said and done, what's the price out the door?
yeah,
Takes about 0.5 hours for an update.
Now, an update of one lot or an update?
Or several?
Of all the whole thing, or I just wanna clarify
Should
it.
probably call and clarify it.
yeah.
Well, then
I think it's probably for the whole thing, but
me too, but then let's think about, it's up to you guys, but approving this contingent to,
right,
it's a half an hour per lot, then we might want to have.
Correct.
yeah.
But if it's a half an hour, roughly plus or minus an
Yeah,
hour and a
and
half.
I think that's,
I think that's,
I'd rather just do that, because I don't think our clerks are busy enough, they don't need to do GIS software on top of all the other stuff we're having to do. So,
I'll make a motion pending clarification.
Second,
I'll second.
second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries.
Yeah, and then, Mr. Mayor, I think we need to do a separate one for the creating and an update in this current map on the wall. It's $1,200, the cost. That's on the page 2.
Yep. What are the wishes of the council?
I'll make a motion to approve the $1,200 cost.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Anything else on the cemetery, sir?
Nope.
Okay, so, in the beginning, we combined letter A and B in the tabled items and letter B, in the new business. So, again, at the last infrastructure meeting, the one thing that was approved that came out of that meeting was, for the council to get numbers on, doing the updates, bringing the building up to code. So that was a request from the infrastructure committee for the council to do it. There was also, and seems to be, mounting frustration at the amount of time this has taken to either get them numbers or do the things that needs to be done. And so what I would suggest that we do at this point in time, I don't think just finding out what it would take to update these buildings is going to give the people, when we talk to the people, the answers or any kind of answers to the questions they're looking for. So what I would suggest is that we think about doing, okay, so Mr. Holm had put a proposal up for some square footage in addition to this building and just some quasi things added on to the fire hall at this point in time. There was no in-depth conversations, I don't think, with maintenance on what they needed, and for sure there wasn't anything with fire on what that was necessarily. So what I would suggest that we do, and I'll be as involved as I can possibly be, but to come up with some kind of drawings, talk to our staff and see what the needs are. So literally at this point in time, we as a council decide for this particular scenario, all right, we are not going to build a building. This is it. What we've decided is we are now going to reside in this area, in this campus, whatever, for the next 20 years. What do we got to do it? make it work, right? So I'll get with the firefighters and things like that, and let's put together, let's see if, something like what Mr. Holm, whatnot, had put together over there makes it fit for 20 years. Now, I'm talking about the key cards, I'm talking about updating all the electronics, whatever it takes, da-da-da-da-da, you know what I mean? And maybe there's an addition to the end of this building. If we do the 80 by 80 that Jeff had on that actually goes and runs into an easement back there that we have for the cell tower. So we can't hardly do that, we gotta leave that open, but maybe something different happens. Then the other thing that I had thought too is if we take that particular wall here and run it out, so this becomes a hallway. Maybe this becomes part of the meeting room or something, a bigger part of the meeting room. Or the hallway, now the glass door and the protections and those things. And then the offices could be made a little bit bigger. Maybe this room becomes a part of something that the also, maybe not, we don't know. But then also take now this room, the meeting room, whatever, and move it out into where we had the annual meetings, first part of the shop there, if you will. And then take, and I don't know if 80 by 80 is the right number. It doesn't necessarily land on the end of there. Maybe it encompasses something around, we'll lay it out and do something. And then then go over to the fire part and do some of the similar things. Whether it is, okay, we're gonna have to turn that, the balcony into steel or something like that, whatever, rather than wood or whatever has to happen there to bring that up to code. How much more room do you need for the extractors? How much room do you need for the equipment? How much room do you need for some expansion? Because 20 years, we're gonna need more, right? Put all that together as a thing. So we're gonna do all the stuff that brings it up to code anyway. Right, and then add all these things in, and now we'll go and give that back to Brunton as okay, here's all the code issues we have. Now take these concepts of here's the remodeling we want to do that's going to make us, right, and then, and I think, Scott, you had a whole list of people.
I gave it to Joan, but they're people who've done municipal buildings.
All right, so architect, AV group, whatever, okay.
They all have basis in architect and construction. The one thing, and this is just getting estimates, not any bids or anything like that, just estimates from these architects of what it would cost on this concept.
Well,
once we got the concept down.
I think, and I hope we're in agreement, all up for discussion, but if we just got the costs, which we could do, if we just got the costs for the updates, whatever, to bring everything up to code, that does nothing for letting us.
Doesn't do anything, it just leaves us in the same position, but with no code issues.
And what I'm thinking of is would put a couple of things together here, if you will, and then a couple of cartoons, if you will, bring them back to the council for everybody to take a look at it and say, yep, we like this. This looks something like what we would move for. Now we go back to Brunton and all of the people on this list with that packet of the project we would have them, right? So now, and there are going to be walkthroughs, maybe 5 walkthroughs, they're all going to come and see, but there would be an RFP to all of these. How much would you charge us to give us, quote, numbers on this project? Right?
So it's not Brunton.
Correct. Yep, it's Brunton and all of these. You know what I mean? Let them all come in here and look at what we're talking about, talk to Scott, talk to us, talk to the gals, whatever they need to do. You know what I mean? Then they'll give us a number. Well, it's going to be X amount for us to do this project. Not the project of the construction, to give you a number. Anyway, and Brunton will have the ability to, participate in that. And I think at that point in time, we as a council can say, all right, we choose this one. What I mean, run them through, find out what that cost is going to be. They can do that. We'll have some quasi plans and whatnot. Do all of this. Now those are real numbers that, if you will, and we're not going to go out for actual. We'll never know what any of this is actually truly really going to cost until we're actually ready to go out for bid on whatever the project is going to be.
It'll be higher or lower, but they'll be
in similar fashion to the numbers we believe we have for the new building from Brunton. That similar fashion is what I want to do and would like to do with this, somebody, so that at least we have some numbers to compare. then now that then can go back to the infrastructure. And if this takes a month or so to get all of this put together, then so be it. I think when they adjourned the last infrastructure committee, until numbers and things like that would be ready. I just think we're doing ourselves, our constituents, and the infrastructure committee a disservice if we don't go at least into those depths.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And then whatever, to be honest, whatever project, if we do to propose,
You gotta do your.
when we have the open houses, we need to have all the options.
Correct.
We can't have just do nothing and the major construction. We need to have those parts in the middle and say, this is what you think it's gonna work. So,
Yeah, and Mr. Mayor, may also add, also think about the fuel tanks over there, you know,
Well,
and then the cleanup day.
And quite frankly, we have to look at the parking lot. I think we have to look at a major refocus of how this campus would sit if you're gonna do it here.
Yeah.
You really are. Because if you're gonna dig into this, you're gonna dig into it.
Yeah.
And as soon as you dig in, anybody, when you're a model, you find other problems. And if we're gonna do it, we might as well make sure we've done it right in the first time, if we're gonna do it here.
Well, and without a super in-depth, actually some tear out, whatever, to this building to look at some of the things. Whatever numbers are coming up with to remodel or do this, whatnot, isn't gonna include holes that they have to replace. Rotted off and all the wall rework.
Right, there's just stuff
You
that,
find that when you dig in.
when you're a model, you just don't know sometimes. So.
Septic system too.
Well, and we've got the two of them over there
Yeah.
that are a problem, and just where they're iron. I don't know.
I got one question. If they do that, would that be added on the septic systems and your wells and stuff? Would that all be
Probably would
together with that?
You probably have to make it so, because if you're expanding,
That way you get a better ballpark figure
Yes.
of what you're getting into.
And I would totally expect that. I mean, because, check me if I'm wrong, Dan, but I think the way the codes are, the way that is, if you do anything to your home that adds value to it, you have to have that inspected.
And there's tree roots over here too.
Right,
So,
and if there's something failing, there it is. So, we don't want to go out for a building permit yet, because we want to nurse these along as we can.
Yeah.
But at any rate, so yes, it would include both of them. All righty, I think let a motion to approve moving forward in that direction, and then I'll start talking with you guys, fire department, and then the maintenance and the gals to try and put something together, so we have a drawing to look at.
and then what do you think the next infrastructure meeting would be then?
Well, right now it's scheduled for the 26th, and I would suggest that of February, correct?
Yeah.
And
I'll
I
push
would
it
say
to
that
April.
there's no way from between now and the 26th that we're gonna get all of that done.
No,
I would say March would be closer ballpark figure, I think.
At least.
Time?
And Dan, how would we like to?
April or March would be as soon as possible. I mean, you could set it for March and see where you're at the
See what
last
number-
meeting in February.
see what numbers you
Because
get
we
back.
could always push it out to April if it's,
I think we need to be diligent and stay on top of this and get moving on it. Understanding that a project like this takes time. I mean, it's, at the infrastructure committee meeting, a person who was on the St. Francis one said it took
9 years.
9 years from start to finish to get it all done. I'm not saying it's gonna take that long, but what I'm saying is, don't expect this to happen,
Yeah.
even by summer, we're not gonna be there, but we need to get this done. Especially get our real numbers while the construction costs are somewhat stabilized.
Excellent. Is that a motion to approve?
yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll
Second.
second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion. All right, that takes care. Now we're back into the table items. Letter C, discuss, approve, disapprove Zimmerman and Princeton today.
Well, this was tabled from last fall. This is back to those quotes of putting a Baldwin, happening Baldwin today in these inserts in these papers. You can see the quotes that we had, the last quotes we had. if they sell the ad space, it doesn't cost us anything, but they have to sell the ad space, and that's gonna be on them. I mean, they'll want us to try and sell ad space, have people to, do ads like Tech or somebody in there, but, so or Erickson Asphalt, as he had advertising there, so. Well, he's advertising, so, but my thought is, I have no opinion on this. I'm deferring to you three, whether you think this is a good idea. I think it's a nice concept. They do get people doing ads in there. What was it? It was every other month, correct? If I remember right. 6 times a year. So that's 6 times a year. And the price per issue is $3,600. So you take that, or to be honest, if you looked at the map on here that showed the area, if you only did Baldwin, that's pretty small, and you really would want to do the big one. Well, and then you're talking basically 5,000 times 6, so you're talking 30,000 for the year for it. So that's, I guess I would defer to the rest of the city council on that, I think. If that would be the top price, if as he sells ads, the price comes down. So it could be 15, it could be 10, it could be 20, I don't know. But we'll see. It's totally up to your opinion. If you believe that we should be putting out, like the news, we always mailed out the newsletter, this would be similar. People who don't do the internet to look at that and then look at the ads in there.
Council.
And we're not locked into it forever. I mean, if we we try it for a year. If it doesn't work, then we don't do it. But in that respect, I think it's something to think about trying. Certainly it's not going to be the 30,000 this year because we're already in February.
If they put that on, that'll take care of all the events that you guys have, and
Yeah, everything basically that they put on the website can go in that insert, correct, Joan, if I remember right? Basically like our newsletter always was. It's just we put in there, but with ads.
So first and foremost, I think that, is it the desire for option 2? So that would be the entire zip codes, or option 1, just Baldwin city limits? 3,600 per round versus 49.
For me, right now, I'm kind of probably,
On either option. So if me, I'd be a nay on the Baldwin only.
I mean,
just to try it out, I think
I,
Baldwin would be a starter, I believe.
well, I personally think if you're gonna do it, it's not that much more money. It's $1,400 more to do.
The whole big area.
To do about 4 times the size area. If you're gonna do it, I would recommend option 2. That said, I personally am not crazy about option 1. But if you're gonna do it, it'd be option 2. Again, if he gets the ad space, it could cost us nothing.
Joan, you have talked to him, or at least we've had pretty confident that he can.
He thinks he can get a bunch of ads, but he would ask, us to, if we know people who would advertise, so, get him in contact, that kind of thing. Yeah. So if you break it down, that way, if he sells 458 businesses, if he sells 22 ad spaces, that's 5% of the businesses, right? Work right.
Well, I guess If you did go with option 2, then you'd get better coverage for everything.
And the advertisers would be more willing to do it if they're hitting all that. I mean,
Probably have a
ad
better
space
chance.
just for Baldwin, that doesn't make any sense to me to spend that, because they're spending the same amount of money. The advertisers are, for very limited coverage, where if you do the bigger area, they get a much bigger, broader ad area. And they're easier to sell then, and he only has to sell 6 more ad space there.
This is it like on an annual basis? 1 year, like trial?
Well, I mean, we don't have to, it looks like, I think we would just contract to do 1 year and then see where it's at, and if it was worth, we're not locked into
I
anything.
think I wouldn't mind trying it for 1 year just to see
They-
would benefit all of us.
Is that a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve that.
Second it.
Further discussion?
Just clarify which one are we doing, is this for
I'll do the
option
bigger
two?
option 2.
Okay.
Or any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carried. Finally, got that one put to bed.
Yeah.
All right, letter A, discuss, approve, disapprove, request RFPs for soil borings in 2026 project. Mr. Walker.
Soil borings, that's wrong paper. We got a couple of different, I don't know, I guess it is the same one. Or two different options here. We got the 10-foot borings, sinkhole improvements for project area 1. The borings were $5,800, the bituminous core is $1,750 each, and there'll be 7 of them, and then the report prep is $2,000, so it comes up to $9,550. And the improvements, that goes through the improvements, would be the borings would be $390, the bituminous core would be $195 each, which is 7 of them too. And the report prep is $38.20, so that'd be $71.35.
I'll make a motion to approve the soil borings.
Are we picking a company there, or is it's 2 quotes? We're picking one of the 2 companies, correct?
Geotechnical corporate.
Yeah,
Basically, we're going with the engineer's recommendation. I just want to clarify that we're going with the engineer's recommendation, which it says right there, to go with the
the lower quote.
One is, I don't know how to pronounce it, Halgo Geotechnical, and the other one is American Engineering.
yeah.
My motion would be to approve Algo, yes, for $7,135.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Letter C, discuss no parking signs. Tom.
Yeah, so got the parking signs, they didn't work for us with the reflectivity. They scratched easy, kind of the wrong color. Al went in up there and talked to the vendor today. So, we haven't paid nothing yet on those, but, I think, we go with, there's a quote for M&R Sign here. Does a lot of our stuff anyways. And these are those, there's 20, right, 20 parking signs. It's gonna be a little bit more at the freight, but I think,
They've done stuff for us in the past with no problem.
correct.
I'll make a motion to approve M&R sign for the change in quote.
Second.
I'll second that.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion. Disapprove, disapprove.
Yeah, so we got two quotes for this. There's some downed trees, and talking to both vendors, if they close the road for 5 minutes, our maintenance department can do the kind of the traffic control to drop these trees real quick, and they can do it. So it was cheaper for both vendors. So we got North Metro Tree Service. Is that 1.5? I got two quote.
For ones are,
Yes, and that would be North Metro for 525, and then Jake's was 825.
Is updated with a larger number.
the one that was updated.
So the non-updated one is with us doing traffic.
Yes, yep.
So that one was updated.
For the wishes of the
Make them.
So just a question.
Yep.
So both quotes we got are for us closing the road.
Correct.
And so, okay.
Yep,
And it was 525 and 825?
correct.
Okay.
Yep. So it'll be North Metro for 525. I'll make the motion.
second.
I'll second that.
Second, any further discussion? None, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Discuss Public Works position, Mr. Rush.
Yeah, so this, somebody's here. So this one is, to put this on here, because, Phil will be retiring here. He said it, a year and a half. So at this point, I think we need to go out for a position for, this Phil's replacement only, to get that person trained while we still have Phil here. And get him in here, because we're gonna have to, run ads for this position, post a job description, and then I've talked to Zach, and I would say starting at $25 an hour for this individual to get him out there and get him trained in, so we have somebody in here, and then, we're gonna have to conduct interviews, depending on the number of people. But this is just for Phil's replacement only.
What does Phil get per hour right now?
Is that? Yeah.
Can we get an updated job description, make sure it
Yes.
checks everything that they're doing?
Yes, that's what
There.
I did talk to Joan about that for the current job description we have out there for his position, and then have both of them look it over to make sure there's nothing miss.
Well, and then make sure you guys look at it and see
Yeah.
if there's something that doesn't, sure that's in there.
Because I will, the idea would like to get this, we're in first week of February, so we got to, post it, advertise it, see what comes back, and then do the interview process. It's going to take a month or two, or at least, so this person will be ready, when spring comes, when they're actually,
Let's updo the job description, or update the job description, whatever that is. Bring that back to the next council
okay. Works for me.
Yeah.
discussion. That else on that, sir?
Nope.
Okay, letter F, discuss, approve, disapprove. Chris Engineering quote, this is for carbide inserts, this is for cutting edges and bolts and stuff like that for the plows. $4,141.24.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. All righty, announcements. Special Planning Commission meeting, Wednesday, February 11th. Remember, that one is going to be the one we're going to be with them. Starts at 7 PM. City Hall closed Monday, February 16th, 2026, and President's Day. And the next city council meeting will be Wednesday, February 18th, 2026, 7 PM. Any other business?
Park meeting will be February 19th.
Just FYI, FYI, the fire department is in the middle of a hiring process for the year. And it's been posted on Facebook and on that's, it closes the April 1st. So if you know anybody who would be interested in being a firefighter, please have them apply.
Okay, do we have,
Trying to talk
Can
to
we-
the kid and telling him to do that.
Yeah.
you gonna put it on the sign out there?
Submarines.
Well, if we had a sign out there, we'd put it on the sign out there. That would be nice. I'd certainly love to put it in, especially in bold letters. But at this time, the contractor that was supposed to put the sign in has not gotten to that sign yet, so. Or to make some phone calls.
Joan, would you call that guy and tell him he's off the hook? Okay, I have everything cut.
I'm sorry, I just.
No, Phil
Oh, yeah.
approached me as well.
I told him
believe
to.
you sicked him on me.
Yeah, we will,
We will do that.
we'll put out that cheapy one that we got out there for now.
And that was one question that actually came up, couple of things on the sign, in fact. I was talking with Ed Stoffern. Anyway, he's on a planning commission, whatever, and he's also an election judge. Anyway, Ed's a good guy. He's also a graphics guy. He believes, so on the top of the sign that we had approved, whatever, is gonna say the city of Baldwin on it, right? And we thought that that would be like kind of an opaque or translucent white plastic with the lettering on it, if you will, whatever. So, and he believes that we have, with our graphics machine and everything, building that to whatever we want it to be. Two, would we want that to be lit from the inside? So double-sided with lights on the inside. So we're gonna have the two signs, if you will, whatever, that are gonna be the electronic. Then we're gonna have this on the top of it, says City of Baldwin. So that, I had envisioned that as being double-sided, whatever, with a light inside of it. Or do we wanna say that the stop sign lights, or stop sign, the flagpole lights, if you will, are enough to light the sign?
I personally think the lit inside would be the way to go because the flagpole lights aren't, I don't think they're
Not a big
enough.
deal, just a question. Anyway, so that's it.
Separate light, I think would be much.
And everything's all ready to go, right?
Well, we have.
With they trenched it, right?
Yeah, we had it, pierced in, I'm gonna call it pierced in. So we have a tube from here, over to the fire hall, the corner of the fire hall. And then another one from the corner of the fire hall, out to where the sign is. So that is gonna have, I believe, gonna be low voltage stuff, right? I've got boxes of Cat 5 cord, whatever, so we gotta get that pulled through, not a big deal. And then I think when it comes to it, we'll have to trench in, dig into the electric that's out there at the flagpoles already. And most, all of that stuff other than the actual wire.
Okay. Good.
So that's it. Anything else? Mr. Licht, anything else? Joan, anything? All righty.
I do have one thing.
Okay.
Oh, you do have some. What?
So if you do have a claim form now that we have, a change for a meeting night, if you could get that to me by Monday at noon, I'd super appreciate it.
When you want it, Monday?
Monday at noon, please.
Let's write the check.
Supposed to be in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if they're absent, we keep it.
Send it down there.
Welcome to where you would have been anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't get to sit next to Joan tonight.
Next time I'm gonna put you in the corner because you always say.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask a question?
You most certainly may.
Somebody after the infrastructure committee meeting asked me, should the committee members have been paid for 2025? Since
Yes.
they earned it in 2025?
But it's under, they're gonna make under the $600, so it's not like.
Right, I understand that, but they just were,
Wondering they gonna get
they
paid.
were wondering, should they have been paid in 2025 since they attended those meetings? And I said, I have no clue, I don't really worry about it, and I said I'd ask them.
I think they should get paid for the meetings that they have attended so
Well, it's too
far.
late now, 2025 is over.
Yeah.
You can't send them a W-2 for a 2025 meeting. People have already
Yeah.
sent in their taxes.
I think they should
Yes,
get,
it's less than 600, so they really don't have to report it. But some people who don't know that might get a little nervous.
yeah. I think they should get, for me, I think they should get paid for what, all the meetings they have attended so
Yeah,
far.
they would just, so your last check of last year, you earned it in 25, but pay came in 26. So that, you get that carry over, all the
Oh, sure,
firefighters.
they could have got paid, the early part of January, 25,
Yeah.
and because,
But that'll go on your 26 taxes.
it would,
Yeah, so the firefighters, from July till December, all that pay is paid.
I mean,
They can get paid, it's just gonna be on their next.
you bring up a point, so why does the infrastructure, because I haven't attended except the first few, but like the park committee, they fill out their claims. They get paid, the next month. And the planning commission, I think, does the same thing. So why doesn't the infrastructure committee do that?
So the planning commission went on payroll because they make over the $600 and they get paid once a month. The park is once every 6 months. And so I guess I'll do whatever, but I guess I just thought I'd wait, because you take the $40 times, I think it's 10 meetings, there's your $400, which is under the threshold for being on a 1099 or a W-2, but I'll do whatever I'm told to do.
I just think you pay them for 6 months and you get the check out to them at this point.
Well, yeah, I would say so.
they're not doing it for the money.
Oh, no.
Don't get me wrong, they're not. doing it.
None of us are doing this for the
Civic
money.
pride.
Yeah.
But it was asked to be, why
I-
shouldn't we
yeah.
get paid for the 25 meetings? And I said,
I think they should have been paid in 2025, but now it's too late. Yeah, but I think we need to get them the money, what we owe them.
Well,
You need a motion for
I would
that?
say in that we plan that, just like the fire department, in July, they get paid for the first, all the meetings up till the end of June.
I think at this point, it's my opinion, Mr. Mayor, is that, if there's 3, 4, 5 more meetings, you ride it out and pay the infrastructure committee for all the meetings at one time. But maybe in the future, if it rolls over into another year, think about, paying them off, let's say, for a completed year and then the next year, whatever, because nobody really anticipated the infrastructure committee going into 2 different calendar years.
Correct.
I sure didn't. I thought we'd be completed by the end of 2025. So it's not a big deal, but it was a question that came to me, and I said, I go to the council meetings, I'll ask. Dan, what do you think?
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, okay.
I'm in it for the money, but
There'll probably be at least 3 or 4 meetings.
Yeah.
It'll be one. What have we had so far, probably? 7 or 8?
7 of them.
Then you're gonna have,
To about $16,000 in cost for the infrastructure committee.
then you're gonna have,
Bus tour, all that
I
stuff.
know.
and then you're gonna have public hearing meetings,
Money well spent.
open a couple of those to present your findings.
Yeah, ask the infrastructure committee members to be at the public meeting if they would want to.
Yep.
You've got to continue, call that a regular meeting.
Correct.
So what was decided then?
Hold off.
Hold off, okay.
It's just fodder for future. Just think about something like that. Just always roll every year for some reason.
Hope not. I remember at the 6th or the 5th meeting saying, hey, if this goes over 7, you know what I mean, you have the council's support, whatever, to do
Yeah,
that.
I remember that, and everybody appreciated that.
Well, and everybody's, oh, no, we'll have her done, by golly.
Some people said it's gonna go way over that, so. And I anticipated that it would.
I really
It's a big
like,
deal.
I really like that pair indicated how long it took them. I think that was very important.
Well, I just,
Who's that guy's neighbor?
Harrison Barton.
That town's neighbor?
My neighbor.
Oh, yeah, he's a smart
Oh,
guy.
yeah, he is.
Yep.
Yep.
Very good.
And he said firefighters are sexy. I think that's just, you know.
I think you misspoke on that.
Firefighters, not.
Yeah.
I think he said firefighting in general is a sexy. I don't.
The lady that yesterday said,
Yeah, everything but the chief was.
Get the calendar.
Chiefs in general.
I'm a figurehead.
Yeah, that too. All righty, I need a motion to approve bills for payment.
check number 29251 to 29284 for $73,855.39. 5 EFT payments for $19,693.71 for a total of $93,549.10.
So move.
Second.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I need a motion to
So moved.
adjourn. Is there a second? Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned at 8:17.
Actually, not bad.
Yep.
What do we got? We got one on the 17th, or no, 11th.
11th.
And you said, what, the other meeting was the 19th? The park.
Park is the 19th.
Yeah. Second, the 18th. Yep.